ladies and gentlemen, do not just your set. I'm Hitman Cause. It's quite an interesting show we had. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your official review for Elimination Chamber from Saudi Arabia. And of course, I'm not alone in this endeavor. Please welcome, as always, the co-host of the contracts, the humble man Gary. Welcome to the contracts.
Yo, my man, Cos Payton, what's good? What's good? Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be around and being here, giving out wrestling knowledge and all that, man.
You already know, man. Ready to get into this?
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk about this as brief as possible, just because we didn't see it. On the pre-show, I didn't even know there was a pre-show. Rey Mysterio beat The Miz. Yeah, yada yada. Really didn't care about this match much, to be honest.
Right, that match, honestly speaking, honestly, the match, yeah, it's kind of okay, but it's good that Ray won.
Yeah, but again, this match does nothing for either one of them, so it was one of those throwaway feuds.
Right. That's a fact.
But moving on to the main card, what people actually care about. To start things off, and to my surprise, we started off with Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against Goldberg. Now, honestly, really wasn't much to say about this match. Goldberg brought the fight, speared Roman a couple times, but Roman locked in the guillotine, made Goldberg pass out, and that was that.
Oh yeah, honestly speaking, yeah, that's a fact, and that is what happened. And that it really was, and that match, it was kind of good. And yeah, the way Roman had him in the guillotine was crazy.
I mean, honestly, despite it being a short match, it still did its job. It served its purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Fact.
But yeah, moving on, we have the Women's Elimination Chamber match, where the winner would compete for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. We had Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop versus Liv Morgan versus Nikki ASH versus Rhea Ripley. I can't even run that. This match was really good.
Yeah, it was. That really was good.
And as expected from most people, Alexa came out as her psychotic ways.
Right. That is right. I had a feeling that she was going to stay that same way as well too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it didn't do any good because she still lost.
Right.
But she was among the final two.
Exactly.
Nikki ASH got eliminated first, thanks to the Riptide.
Correct.
Then Liv Morgan eliminated Doudrop with a schoolboy pin.
Right.
Then Alexa freaking pissed off. I think she might have pissed off a lot of people because she hit Twisted Bliss to eliminate Liv Morgan.
Right, that is correct. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, if she does get her shot, she'll get it. Just not now,
Yeah.
Maybe, only maybe she isn't ready yet.
Yeah, I almost certainly agree.
I don't know. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. But at least how it looks for now, she just isn't ready.
I agree.
But if she keeps playing the cards right, her time will come.
That is correct.
Then, actually, back when Liv was still in the match, there was an interesting spot with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, where they both, would you say, were trying to one up each other?
Right, exactly.
Because they were both doing stalling suplexes.
That's correct.
And actually, something that I thought was pretty funny was that while Rhea had Alexa up, she kept trying to put Alexa's dress out of the way so Alexa's dress wasn't hiding her face.
Right.
But even still, you know, it was good. It was a good thing. Then, you know, later on, Alexa hit the even flow DDT.
Right.
And then that, along with the KOD from Bianca Belair, eliminated Rhea Ripley. And then Alexa tried her hardest, gave Bianca everything she had, and then some. But she also got hit with the KOD, and Bianca is once again going to WrestleMania, and more than likely going to headline it again.
Correct. I'm lucky that that's what's going to happen.
Then, next match we had Ronda Rousey and Naomi taking on Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. Now, little side note to this match, and I didn't know this because I was watching. Because here's the thing, I was watching SmackDown, but when this stipulation was announced, I wasn't paying attention. Like I literally had the TV muted because I thought the contract signing was going to be your typical boring you know, your typical boring thing. You know, they say one person says something, another person says something back. Then they just start fighting.
Right.
But turns out Ronda Rousey had to wrestle a match with one arm tied behind her back.
Exactly.
Like it was in the it was written in the contract. And you know, I should have known that Sonya Deville was gonna try and pull some crap like this.
Right.
And you know, we thought it was gonna be even, what with Sonya Deville coming out with her arm still in a sling. But turns out once the bell rung, it reveals that she was faking it the whole time.
Right.
And first off, I understand Ronda and her fighting background and shit, but still, she looked ridiculous wearing that karate gi.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
I mean, I understand the purpose behind it, but still, she looked ridiculous.
Correct.
But yeah, so it was essentially handicapped for Ronda Rousey and Naomi because Ronda still had to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back, despite Sonya being perfectly fine.
Right, that's correct.
But at the end of the match, it really didn't even matter, because with only one arm, Ronda still locked in the armbar to make Sonya tap out.
Yeah, that is right.
I'd say that match was rather all right, you know.
That's correct.
But like they didn't show off too much, so you know, really didn't pop as much as it should. But then again, Rousey had one arm tied behind her back, so hey. Moving on, this match actually surprised the hell out of me. We had Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, as I've stated in the predictions, Falls Count Anywhere match is my favorite kind of match, and this one definitely delivered.
Yeah, that match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was saying, yeah, it delivered too, honestly speaking. It really did.
And you know, as expected, Happy Corbin did interfere, but because it's false count anywhere, there's no DQ, so Corbin was playing by the rules. By interfering because, no DQ.
Right.
And there was some pretty good spots here. But personally, I think one spot that could have been done better was when Drew McIntyre suplexed Madcap Moss on the announce table. I honestly think I don't know what, but it was either the suplex or the landing itself looked pretty poor. Because it didn't look like that suplex onto the table hurt much, if not at all.
Right.
And then in the closing moments match, I thought that shit was pretty interesting. I mean, even though it was at the expense of Corbin, but Drew McIntyre was setting up for the Claymore, and Corbin was about to interfere, but then McIntyre tried to swing, try to chop his head off with Angela, which essentially which understandably so spooked Corbin enough that he didn't try and stop the Claymore from connecting, to which it did, and Drew won again. Now, this obviously has to mean that Corbin and McIntyre are going to face off at WrestleMania, because I don't see how else they can drag on this feud. Because putting Madcap in a match with him again, in my opinion, is a waste of time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, Corbin and McIntyre WrestleMania. I say maybe they should have a stipulation as well. Who knows?
Right. Honestly speaking, I agree with that.
Then, next match, Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's title against Leto. This match was all right. Lita still showing that she still had the chops to perform.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the match, it was kind of okay. Yeah, Lita still has it too.
Yeah. But she still, I don't know. The match was a bit disappointing for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I wanted Becky to win, but I don't know. I was expecting more out of the match.
I understand. Right here. After that, hit from the top rope right after that, I really thought that was gonna be it.
Oh yeah, Lita hit the twist of fate and the Lita salt, but Becky still kicked out, and I honestly thought that was gonna be it.
Right.
Definitely had me convinced.
Me too.
But it definitely isn't. It definitely wasn't. Becky hit the manhandle slam, and was just barely able to pin Lita.
Right.
Then after Becky walked out,
right.
Lita was emotional, to which the crowd showed their support for Lita.
Exactly.
She still got it.
Oh yeah.
But it was a good showing by her. But maybe as far as singles competition goes, probably the end. But she might have a tag match or something down the road, or maybe something at WrestleMania. I don't know.
Right, probably.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the main event, bit of a side note: the Usos were supposed to face off against the Viking Raiders after this, but the Usos attacked the Viking Raiders, and the match never happened. And turns out, what I was thinking was the reason for this was true, was that was that they were running out of time.
Right.
You know, and you know, when you're at a time limit, you know, you gotta just gotta get it done as quick as you can. You know,
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I ain't too upset, but hey. But at the same time, honestly, if we were to even see the match, we probably would have had the same result with the Usos winning, because like I said in the predictions, you know, the build-up has been one-sided,
Right. Exactly.
with the Usos looking dominant every time. You know,
Right.
and I told you about that match. That tag match they had where freaking Usos won in I think less than 5 minutes.
Right.
But yeah, moving on to the men's Elimination Chamber match, where this one was for the WWE Championship. Now, starting off the match was Seth Rollins and Austin Theory. Now, from what I remembered, because I had to step away for a sec, someone got powerbombed.
Oh yes, it was Seth Rollins who powerbombed Austin Theory through the chamber where Lashley was standing in.
Yeah, and then they basically wrote it off as to that Lashley was that Lashley actually got hurt by the impact of Theory crashing through the pod. So he got sent to the back, and he was taken out of the match. Because he got put through concussion protocols. And at first, you know, I was a little upset, but you know, it's an injury. You know, these things happen. As a wrestler, this comes with the territory. You know, but after doing a little digging, myself and the Humble Man found out that the concussion was actually a cover-up. Turns out Bobby Lashley, unfortunately, suffered an injury at the Royal Rumble, and he obviously was putting it off. You know, en route to winning the WWE title, but obviously now what I'm assuming is that the injury was just nagging at him too much, and you know, he had to unfortunately he had to get out of the match, unfortunately. And normally, you know, if you're injured, you can fight through a match, but if the injury is too bad, you know, too severe of an injury, you know, you gotta either get out of the match or end it quickly. And you know, that's what happened to him. And according to the Humble Man, unfortunately, looks like Lashley might potentially be out of WrestleMania, because he's having surgery done on that injured shoulder, and apparently it might take 4 months for him to recover. And given how much time we have till WrestleMania, it doesn't look like he'll be coming back in time, which is a shame, because I was hoping that he would try and get a title match, whether it be WWE or Universal, at either night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania. But you know, given the circumstance, things aren't looking that good. And again, this sucks, but again, injuries come with the territory. So, Lashley, the Hitman, and the Humble Man, we are wishing you a speedy recovery. Hopefully, when you get back, you win back the WWE title, but get well soon, bro. We with you.
Yes, sir, my man. Bobby Lashley. Get well, man. We need you back.
Yeah. Moving on further with the match, basically, that they were all doing their thing in the match. That is until Brock Lesnar came out, and the referees were taking too long to open up his pod, so he wound up destroying his pod and destroying everyone else with it. Taking Seth Rollins out with the F5 to eliminate. Then took out Riddle. Then took out AJ Styles. And then it was actually down to just him and my pick, Austin Theory. And I give it to Austin Theory for trying to do what he could. But, there's only so much you could do. Because a majority of their face-offs, he was running. He was running for dear life.
Right.
And I thought I had a sliver of hope because he actually caught Brock lacking and low blowed him. But it only did so much before Brock got pissed off and chased after Theory again, who scaled the cage, and he actually was almost able to climb out of the cage because he got to the top, and he was actually able to get through the top of the chains. But unfortunately, he could only get half of his body out of it because Brock did still climb the cage and chased after him. To which then they were on top of a pod, to which Brock gave him the beats by Dre before hitting him with a crazy F5 off the pod.
Exactly.
I definitely give it to Theory. He definitely proved how tough he is for taking that bump. And honestly, I'm surprised that his legs or his knees didn't get destroyed from the way he landed from that F5.
Right.
But even still, mad props to him. He did his thing, but unfortunately, his luck ran out. Brock, because afterwards Brock came down, pinned him, and that was it. Brock is the new WWE champion. And and his match against Roman at WrestleMania will now be champion versus champion.
Yes.
Now personally, I really, really hope that what's his face that the match does not be a unification match. We do not need a unification match.
I can see why you're saying that, honestly speaking.
Because I'd rather just have a world title on SmackDown and a world title on Raw. We do not need a unification match. Period.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we can't keep going back to that again. Let the belts go. They're both separate brands. Respect the brand.
But as I'm looking it up, it looks like it's going to be winner take all. So unfortunately, it's title for title.
Right.
I mean, I don't want it, but unfortunately, it's going to happen. So, hey, I'm still not happy with it, but hey, it'll still probably be a good match. I'm not really going to look forward to it just because I don't want a unification match, but hey. But who knows? Maybe what happened when Keith Lee unified the NXT North American title and the NXT title,
right,
might happen with that, where when the next person to challenge whoever wins the match might only challenge for one title, then the titles will be separated again. So hopefully there'll be that.
right.
But I'd say it was an overall good pay-per-view. I was thinking, should we talk about the game or should we end it?
We should end it. Next week is when we're going to do a podcast about the game.
Alright. So yeah. So we're gonna end it here, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely want to thank each and every one of y'all for taking the time out of your busy schedule for coming rocking with us. I definitely want to thank the Humper Man as usual for kicking his wrestling knowledge.
Yes, sir. You know, I'm always going to be kicking it wrestling knowledge of my man, Cause Payton. You know what? Thanks for always having it.
Yeah, and y'all keep it locked next week. We're dropping a special, a second special edition podcast where we will be discussing, the WWE 2K22. You know, sure, more stuff is gonna get leaked, but we're mainly gonna be talking about the ratings and whatnot, and what we think so far. So keep it locked for that. So until next time, by way of Struggle Vision Productions, it's the Hitman and the Humble Man, and we out. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace. We out of here.